So if we just want to please stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll call this meeting to order at 5:36 p.m. Can we get a roll call, please?
Mac Rankin. Ben Metzger.
Here.
Eric Christensen.
Here.
Ryan Whirling.
Here.
Sue Wilson.
Here.
Jeanette Campbell.
Here.
Brady Darr.
Here. Okay, so we'll now call for a motion to open the public hearing for the 2025-2026 budget amendment. This is an opportunity for public comment on the proposed amendment. Do we have anybody here to speak? I need a motion to go into that.
So moved.
Thank you, Eric. Second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? I think we had them both. Somehow. Okay. Submit anything? Public comment for the proposed budget? No. Okay. See no further comments. I'll call a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Eric? Seconded by Ryan. We got to vote for that.
At 37. No, you need to vote.
Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries 7-0. Okay, approval of the agenda.
I do have a last-minute Choices Mental Health contract for 26-27 came in this afternoon, and so I did add that to the consent agenda with new beginnings. And that's for on-site mental health services.
Under contracts.
Underneath contracts and the consent, yep.
So we'll just need a motion, once you have a minute to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Is that Mac?
Mac.
Mac.
Yes.
Thank you, Mac. And then seconded by Eric. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carries 7-0. Board member reports? Anyone have any updates or anything? I don't know the exact group, but I know it's Mr. Potabom that has been working on the flowers outside the middle school.
Yes.
And they're beautiful. He's doing that with some students though, too.
Yep, his wing class.
Yeah.
So they come out and fix things up, take out all the fall grub, and it looks nice. It's in full bloom, and
It is beautiful, yeah. I also know there was a field trip on Friday for the new class that we had approved, construction in the trades. And so it was fun to hear about kind of what they did on Friday and that class moving forward. So it's under Mr. Carlin, so it's awesome, awesome, awesome. So it's learning math concepts while hands-on. So while going and looking at different angles in construction and how to measure math while actually working on a project. So yeah, really, really cool.
What grade level is that for?
high school.
Up
So
to
it'd be your
ninth.
sophomores through your, yep.
So, very cool. That was very cool. Anything else?
It is also Board Appreciation Month, and so I do want to thank all of you for your work and your efforts. In front of you are a couple gifts to represent, merch to represent Indianola Community School Districts as you're out and about, so we do appreciate all of your efforts and time. And we'll double your pay.
Today.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? So it is time for public comment. So do we have anyone signed up for public comment? No. No. Okay, so the next item is the consent agenda. So we would just need an approval. Motion. Ryan?
Second?
Ryan, motion. Eric seconded.
I had a quick question on bills this month. I know we a lot of times end up with people on our payroll who need like reimbursement checks and small things like that. I noticed a number of individuals this time around who I didn't recognize as being on the payroll. I just wondered like what kinds of things that we would need to pay individuals for.
We pay mileage, and then we implemented credit cards, but some people haven't started using them, so they'll be reimbursed for trips. Sometimes if there's an activity, they'll get it reimbursed for like state tickets. There's various things. If you have a list, you can send me. I'll look into it.
But they would all be individuals who are employed by the district? They should be?
Not necessarily. I mean, I could review the list and see if there's, contractors that happen to be we pay their name.
Through their name, okay.
Most of them would be personal reimbursements.
Okay.
If you have questions, you can send me and I can review it. And
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. All those in favor of consent agenda, say aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
I just thought of something else too. There could be parent reimbursements this time of year.
Oh, okay.
So students that are graduating or leaving the district, sometimes we'll reimburse their lunch accounts.
Okay. That I think.
Hey, Sue.
Hold on one second. Was that?
Yeah.
That was it. Okay. Yeah.
I just wanted to point out, because I'm not for sure if everybody that's listening knows, but the bills do get reviewed every week by the board president.
Yes. They do. Anything else on that? No? Okay. On to board committee reports. So we will have the HR report. So Ben or Mac, or would you like to take it? Do you want to do the HR report, or would you like Ms. Paul to do it?
Go for it, Mac.
Thank you. HR committee met back in April. We reviewed and discussed the remote work agreement and the verbiage. I believe that's coming up for board consideration. We also looked at removing the limit to the number of remote days to non-student days only, and removing the 24-hour notice that had been required, really giving a little bit more discretion to administrators in order to each of the buildings. You can see the attached agreement in the board packet. I think that was really about it. We had two meetings. The second one, we also discussed the interim head principal position at the middle school, and that will probably be coming up for discussion here momentarily as well.
Okay. So questions on the remote work agreement at all? Because we will move to consider approval of the revised remote work agreement.
What was the,
So we took out, if you pull up the agreement, it'll show you all the changes in yellow. Or if you look up on the screen, it's up there as well. So we took out the non-student days only because that applied to everybody, but yet they have to have approval from their supervisors to use it. Well, for some in our IT department, they may be able to work from home even when there are students in the building. So we took out that non-student language, and then the employee will notify supervisor 24 hours in advance. Many of our administrators and directors use these days on snow days. Well, we wouldn't necessarily know 24 hours in advance. And so we're just saying, our directors and our supervisors generally know when it's okay or when it's not. If they can't make it happen within a couple hours' notice, then they would just say no, versus having it written that it has to be 24 hours in advance in there. And then as you go down to the applies to, we just updated that list to our current users of it. We had missed some people when this was originally put in place, or jobs have been added or changed titles. And so we made sure that they were captured in there as well.
So you don't think weather forecasts are accurate enough to depend on 24 hours?
I try.
Thank you.
And we don't currently let teachers,
No, because they're generally have to be in with the class, with the students in there.
But they get credit for snow day. if they-
Right,
Yeah.
it's different. It's
Yeah.
not titled
So-
underneath this.
They can work
on a snow
on
day.
a snow
snow
day.
day.
Yes,
Yep.
yep. So we're just in for a motion.
Make a motion to approve the updated remote work agreement as
Eric-
presented.
Eric, and seconded by Ryan. Any other further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Now I'm going to have Ms. Paul just talk a little bit about her interim co-head principal position that we'll consider. And this will start in the 2026-27 school year.
Yeah, so one of the things we're running into, as you know, both our administrators are out for the remainder of this year, for sure. The earliest one of them will be back is the end of July, and that's if all things go well. We have a lot of things happening right now that need decisions: hiring, scheduling, class lists, class placements, things like that. And so what I want to do is try and provide some stability for next year. So as we start to make these changes, that we have somebody that is stable, even as our administrators start to come back. They may not be able to come back in full capacity. So who's going to be in the building? Who's going to be there to take care of some things? And so my hope is that for 1 year, we can add this interim co-principal to provide that stability and invest in our people for that 1 year to make sure that they have what they need as we go through this. And then next year, go back to just a regular principal and assistant principal.
I think the only thing that wasn't clear to me was the exit plan for Ms. Lindley. If we did this, like then what happens to her after that year?
So she'd be guaranteed a job back in instructional leadership is what she's in right now. And so she would go back in. Now, whether that would be in that secondary or in another instructional leadership role, she would return back to those roles
Okay.
in there. Is that what you meant by the?
Yeah. Like, and that was all like made clear to her of what?
Yep. So I had a conversation with her because I wanted to make sure that we had somebody that would be able to do that and that she would be interested in that. And then we talked about, as the administrators start to come back, what does her job look like in the middle school? That she would continue with that co-principalship, but her focus would be that MTSS structure, which is what she would be focusing on in her role here next year if she weren't in this position. But still maintain that principalship through the year. Any other questions that I can?
In that too.
What's that?
This is in the package online?
No,
No,
that,
okay.
this is just the summary
Okay.
of it.
We just, if this is something we want to go through with, we'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the interim principal position at the middle school for the 26-27 school year at Mrs. Stanley to fill the commission.
Second.
Thank you, Mac. Seconded by Eric.
This would have the start date of June 1?
July 1.
1.
Yep, so they would remain as deans right now through June and then begin this July 1. That's just our natural break in there,
Is that when all administration contracts
July 1.
start? July 1, okay. Anything else? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Finance. Not my wheelhouse.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
I missed
technology.
technology
Okay,
on there.
we're all
I
right.
apologize
No worries, technology.
on your script.
Did you say you wanted to take that one, Sue?
Nope,
No?
I'd say it's all you.
So, general updates, we got an update on the construction and how IT is getting included over there. We've got the uninterrupted power supplies, AKA battery backups going in, network equipment, wireless access points. So there's some coordination going on with IMU Fiber there. And then I think some other items. There was a survey that went out just to kind of gauge how the IT department's doing there, and I think in general things were pretty favorable and appreciative of the work that was happening. And then there was I don't know, what would you call it, Ray? An event, the flapping.
Yep. That's right. For our network, we did have some issues there for a little while, and thankfully that has settled out. So
Good.
we've had a good week and a half or more now, so that's of stability, so that's great.
Figured out the issue, got it taken care of.
Still kind of investigating some stuff there, but it's worked itself out. So.
What did I miss, Ray?
Chromebook replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the piece there. Those are coming in, those have been ordered and actually will come in on Thursday. So we will not be looking to replace those at the end of this year. That'll wait till next year, but we should have all of those that are supposed to come this week is my understanding.
Will that be like a end of summer, right before school?
Still trying to figure that out, if we want to do that, or if we just want to wait till school. We've done it both ways,
Okay.
and so, well, that's to be decided.
That report was all just information, right? Okay. Anything else for technology? Finance?
Okay. What's that? It can be, yeah. So a few topics we covered in our finance meeting. One was changing our Medicaid, I thought I was reading that, Medicaid claim administrator. So the company that we were working with previously has been sold off, and so looking at some different options there. There was a chunk of the discussion that was kind of about the financing with the construction going on, and bond sales in the future. Those were a couple of big items I had written down. Brian, anything you want to add?
That pretty much covered it.
hopefully we'll be right back in a second.
Financials? We'll wait till it gets back up, or what do you think?
The reports are online. I can answer any questions. There's nothing really out of the ordinary that's going on at this point. Things are pretty much moving along as we anticipated. As you see in the next item, there's a budget amendment done to balance the non-instructional programs. We think that's going to spend a little higher than what was budgeted a year ago at this time.
So, will you just explain what some of the non-instructional programs, what does that include?
That is basically food service is the majority of it, and then daycare is also falls in that area.
Anyone have any questions on monthly financials? Anything that you want explained anymore? Then we'll look for approval, a motion.
Motion to approve the monthly financial reports.
Eric, motion. Ryan seconded. Anything else you want to add, anyone? Okay. So we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 7-0. We will also need a motion for the consideration of the 2025-2026 budget amendment that Brian spoke about.
Make a motion to approve the 2025-2026 budget amendment.
Okay, Ryan made the motion. I seconded. Jeanette seconded. Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Facilities, no report this month.
We did not have a meeting this past Friday because we switched it out. Jeanette, thank you for an HR report to talk about the co-head principal. But I do have a couple action items for you to consider. One is the McVeigh Trail. There's a part of the trail that the city maintains that needs to be replaced, and they're ready to do that. And so what they're asking for is a temporary easement into that. So using in front of the old bus barn, using that access area to store some product and use that to access the trail at that point. And so this is just asking for your permission to do that. They'll take care of any damage that's done, or replace any seeding that needs to be done if that were to be disturbed there. So I do recommend that you approve that and we get that trail improved and ready to be used.
I'll make a motion to approve the temporary easement for McVeigh Trail.
I second it. Eric made the motion, Jeanette seconded. Any further discussion or questions?
I was asked, what's that old bus barn being used for?
What is it being used for? So it's maintenance. Right now, the mowers are in there. So we have a place on 14th Street also, and that is housing our snow removal equipment right now. And then in the fall, the mowers go to the 14th Street and snow removal equipment comes closer. So they just switch it up.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Next item.
Yes, the next
construction.
is construction manager at risk. And if you remember, we have been out for requests for qualifications, and we had 8 companies turn in application materials to be qualified for a project. They all met the qualifications that were identified. Those 8 then were invited to apply or turn in an RFP, or request for proposal. Okay? And they have 5 of the 8 turned in requests for proposals. Okay? Through both of those processes, the companies were scored, and the top 2, which were Myron Construction out of Iowa City and Edge Construction out of Des Moines were invited in to interview. And so we asked them to come in, introduce their team, tell us a little bit about the company. And through that process and the scoring, Edge Construction did come out on top. And I'll tell you, Branson is in the audience tonight. I tease them a lot, but I will tell you that Edge Construction has been a pleasure to work with. And so I would be very thrilled to continue that relationship into phase 2. They have promised and delivered many, many things, which doesn't happen a whole lot in construction. And they have done a tremendous job. And so I appreciate their work. And I do ask that you approve them as our construction manager at risk for phase 2. What that would kick off is our continued relationship to finalize the documents for phase 2 and get that going. They would also start working on a maximum gross price for us. So what is that maximum price that project is going to cost, which would come back to you just for that final approval. We have a budget number, but it might come in less. Right, Branson?
Well, let's talk.
The hope would be that it would come in less than that, and that not over that budget number. So everybody knows what that budget number is. All the construction companies that applied knew what that budget number is and felt that they could meet that number. So.
What's that?
Maybe make a motion to approve Edge Construction as the phase 2 construction project.
So Ryan made the motion. Second to Jeanette. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Policy committee report.
Okay, here's policy. These 100, 102, and 710. These, as it says up here, these are being asked to waive the second reading. These are policies that, I don't know if they're updated at all, they're just,
They're updated by federal laws,
Yeah.
federal code, and so there's not really anything that we can change. Now, we could use another, if you wanted to review them, you could, but we're just asking that we waive those, specifically because some of them have to do with hiring practices, and so we would like to get them in place for the upcoming hiring processes.
let's see them on there,
102-R1, it looks like just a oversight in how the very first part of that sentence was changed. I think it was copy pasted from another policy. It's just awkwardly worded now, like it doesn't, the sentence doesn't read quite right. We took out, it is the policy of the Indianola Community School, now it just says the Indianola Community School District not to discriminate in, like it's missing.
That's what you're saying.
So what do you think, instead of not to, or does not, maybe?
Does not discriminate. in its
If you wanted to get rid of the, it is the policy of, then yeah.
Or we could just leave it as the policy of the Indianola School not to discriminate.
You could just leave that first red piece
I'll
and
do
then
that.
keep the rest of the green, I think, and it'd be fine, but I think that was just a
And the
accident there.
red-green recommendations came from IASB,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was curious about that too, just, I noticed in some of these, they were taking out, guardian with parent. And that just made me curious.
Just updates that they recommend based on new
They're
terms.
using the word guardian.
What's that?
They're using the word
They're not
guardian.
It looked like they were
Guardian.
taking it out. It was just leaving parent.
It is not.
And I assumed that was coming from them, but I thought that was interesting.
And they use, IASB uses Allers attorneys, which is
Yeah.
what we use too, so.
And a lot of those changes are driven by state legislation, right?
State or federal, yep. The other one I do want to point out for your waiver, because it doesn't necessarily fall underneath what we just said about state or federal, is the employee physical examinations. We had we had everybody, teachers, administrators, everybody do a physical. And what we were finding is, there's not a whole lot we can do if they find anything anyway. So we would like to just utilize the physical for nutrition, facilities, and transportation. And then everybody else only as needed or requested by the district. But those three categories, they would have to have one. Just because you have to lift, you have to move, you have to do more physical things in nutrition, facilities, and transportation. Transportation, federally and statewide, you have to have those physicals done, so.
So what you're saying is, last year, we did everybody,
Yep.
and now you're,
Everybody that was hired had to have produce a physical. But now we're saying, not necessarily teachers, administrators need to go through that, TAs, but for sure nutrition.
Yeah.
Now, it does not waive, like the district can still say, hey, we're not sure, we'd like you to have a physical to make sure that you can do the job that's being required of you. This is just taking out the requirement for everybody to have to do it.
is that kind of best practice? Like just these
Yes.
three normally is kind of best practice of,
Yeah. It used to be, probably, I'd say, 5-6 years ago, the law changed. Like, we used to have to require a physical of
Okay.
everybody. But then the law changed where you don't have to require it of everybody anymore. So, we just still chose to. So we're asking you to consider these policies in two separate motions. One, if you would consider waiving the second reading of the policies we were just discussing. And then the second one is just to accept the first reading of the policies presented.
Make a motion to waive the second reading on the policies listed.
seconded by Ryan. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 You lose one. Did they all say aye? Opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Make a motion to approve the policies listed.
Eric made the motion.
Second, first reading.
First reading, right, Eric?
Yep.
Yeah. Seconded, Ryan? Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 So is that one, or did the people say aye? Okay. All opposed, motion carries 7-0. Okay. Other discussion and act items, this is the best one. The approval of the 2026 graduation list.
So presented to you are those students who are on track to meet all the requirements set forth by Indianola Community School District and the state of Iowa. And so we do ask for your tentative approval of these. They will be certified to you as board members at the graduation ceremony. But we do ask that you approve this as they complete the next week of school, 8 days of school with them, so.
Make a motion to approve this year's list of graduates as presented here.
Ryan, make motion. Matt seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. On a quick side note, make sure you've responded back whether or not you will be attending graduation as a board member.
That's 20.
So it's Sunday, the 24th at 1 p.m. So respond to Stacy's email if you are going to be there, because that's how we break down the diplomas. and staff, so, thank you. Board calendar, review. Again, no committee meetings in July. But then we've got rest of May, June. Any changes? For graduation, if you haven't attended before, you usually need to be on site at the Lake Field House by about 12:40. We start walking down before kind of 1 PM, so,
Is it possible to mess it up?
no. I've done it.
The diplomas, okay.
I've done it, so no,
It is not possible to mess it up.
no.
Just making sure.
But there's always a first.
Okay.
I won't let that happen.
It's possible to freeze.
It is.
Oh, yeah, make
It's
sure
freezing
you-
in there, yeah.
That's fine, I'm fine with that.
Any comments on the calendar?
Okay.
Okay. Nope. We are going to enter into closed session for the purpose of evaluating an individual whose performance is being considered as provided in Iowa Code Section 21.5 and the pursuant to the individual's request. So we'll need motions to go into that, and then we will need everybody to a roll call vote, and then everyone else will have to step out. So I just need a motion. Ryan made the motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Eric seconded. And roll call vote, please.
Matt Grinkin,
Yes.
Ben Metzger,
Aye.
Eric Christensen,
Aye.
Ryan Whirling,
Aye.
Sue Wilson,
Aye.
Jeanette Campbell,
Aye.
Brady Dar.
Okay. Motion carries 7-0, so
Session at 6:13.
6:13, yes. So thank you for joining us tonight, everybody.